Good morning, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. The following presentation is brought to you by Because Bitcoin. Welcome, guys. Happy Friday. I hope everybody had a fantastic week. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max and Tucker. It has been another week with a lot of volatility. Maybe not necessarily in Bitcoin, but we've gotten a whole hell of a lot of it in altcoins and in equities. I mean, we've pretty much across the board had some pretty exceptional trading opportunities now that I'm thinking about it. Bitcoin right off the lows, 41, 42K all the way up to 44K. Now seeing some stickiness. Altcoins, especially Sol, just moving beyond aggressively, guys. And then, of course, equities going up and down all week, but mostly up. I mean, I think either way, there's been a lot of chances to make money, a lot of opportunity to play the volatility, and we're going to cover all of it and more throughout this show, guys. But real quickly, before we get cooking and sharing that alpha, we always appreciate when you guys smash that like button before we get started. And this is the last show before Christmas. So I really want to see you guys smash that like button as much as we possibly can. I would love to get the triple digit likes today to send us off. I really would. That would be a pretty fantastic way to send us off into the holiday. And I'm sure we'll bug you again because, you can't get the triple digit likes without a little bit of bugging. But it always means a lot to us when you guys engage and enjoy our content. But let's get into it, right? Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin kind of acted last night to me like it was going to break out, possibly test, another few $1,000s higher. Did not happen. It has pulled back. It continues to chop around this 44K level. And that's a level that we've talked about over the last few days. It's going to be one of those local levels that's fairly sticky, especially when you look at through the context of where we topped 2 weeks ago, right? I mean, you can see currently you have the supply from that consolidation capping price. It has continued to serve as resistance for Bitcoin. Will we get a God candle through it like we have the past few resistances, or are we going to continue to stall and possibly even see a wipe? Because I will say I have seen some people compare this period to DeFi summer within a bullish cycle, right? And if that is the case, Bitcoin did have a wipe, and then after that, things went completely parabolic, as we all know. So I think it's an interesting comparison, and I'm sure that's something that we'll talk about today as well. But yeah, for now, Bitcoin is somewhat struggling with that level. Might be just consolidating under resistance. It's kind of a TBD. We'll see if we get an early Christmas present, though, either way. Altcoins, like I said at the start of the show, man, I mean, they are catching some really strong bids. I think giving a precursor to probably what we're going to see in 2024 to some degree, whether that's a year-long bull run, whether that's an extension of the outperformance that we've seen so far into Q1, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, the king alt right now is seemingly Solana, and it's something that we've usually said about ETH, historically speaking, but ETH has not been able to give us quite the same level of outperformance as Solana has at this point. So right now, we're going to give the title of King Beta to Bitcoin, King Beta of Bitcoin to Solana. But I know, we had a really great discussion, I felt like, on the Solana ETH debate on yesterday's show. I won't talk about it too much in my intro, but I'm sure, it's inevitable that it comes up on this show. Just given the fact that Solana is the leading beta at the moment, and you have now ETH, interestingly enough, up 4% on a day where Bitcoin is red. So I'm sure that discussion will only continue to get more interesting. Legacy markets, let's see. Nothing too much to note in legacy. I mean, we continue to recover from the dip that we had earlier in the week. Interested to see if we have some sort of pullback early next week. I think that could, backfill some of this bounce that we've had, presumably from shorts closing, right? Mechanical bounces. You had a big dip, probably a lot of shorts that hit their take profit, closed out. We saw a mechanical bounce higher. Do we retest demand, or we just continue our melt higher into mid-January, where these supportive flows will finally stop for legacy markets? And truthfully, I don't know what it's going to look like after that happens. I'm not going to try and predict it ahead of time, but I do know we have the supportive flows until mid-January. So I am still expecting higher prices on indices for now. At the very least, should see some higher prices on a lot of these large cap stocks that still look very primed over a higher time frame to rip higher. But welcome, guys. like I said, happy Friday. I hope you all have had a phenomenal week of trading, of being with your friends and family. Yeah, since this is the last time we'll see you, I'm going to wish you one at the beginning and one at the end. Merry Christmas. But what are we seeing in the markets right now, guys?
Max, what am I looking at here, brother? How did you?
Yeah, listen, Tucker, this is something you can't teach. You have to be born with skill like this. So we're gonna leave this to the experts, man. This is called foreshadowing. All right. This is called foreshadowing. But what I did is I drew this candle on here because when the ETF gets approved, this is basically what it's gonna look like. All right.
Mhm.
And here, let me I can flip it like this. And I'll go a step further here and I'll make this red. All right. This is, if the chart looked like this, would it really surprise you that much? You know, this looks like a dump it, you know,
Mhm.
it looks like it's time. It certainly looks like it's time. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not expecting a whole lot through the holidays just because it's historically a period of low volatility and, you know, a lot of big money's away from their desks and all that's fine. Like it doesn't really matter because the truth is on any given day, and we know that, you know, uh, on any given day, the quickest way to out yourself as a newer market participant is to ask why a pump is happening or why something is happening. On any given day, it can happen. You have to be open to it. But I think news driven catalyst aside or ETF news aside, I don't really see why we would just like melt face through a holiday, which is going to pull a lot of big money away from their desks. But again, algos will be algos. And if there's something that triggers the algos, then we're going to get a candle like this. So, oh wait, hang on. We got a mega super chat here, man. Before we really dive into it, man, our boy
Ooh,
Ozeal in our
Ozeal.
Discord, one of our Giga chats, man. He said, "BB, let me join for free. Made enough to pay for the year, and I've tripled my portfolio since July. Thanks,
Mm.
Tucker. Can you feed my panda bias?"
Oh
Ozeal,
man.
that won't be an issue, man. That
No,
won't.
that won't be an issue. I wish we had a panda chart, man. I wish TradingView had a panda chart. That would be a bullish market structure chart, man. I couldn't be more bullish on the pandas. Just go follow Ice Bags and Rainy Studios on Twitter and you'll see what I'm talking about. But
Well,
yeah.
we're gonna incorporate that into BB Terminal. We'll be able to chart NFTs when the
Oh
terminal
yeah.
drops, so that'll be helpful. But Ozeal, thank you so much, man. That's real generous of you, and it warms my heart to know that you're making money, you're crushing it, you're killing it. So thank you so much, Ozeal. But yeah, I think that this is a period of time where we want to look at it as buy, hold, or sell. I think that we're probably just in a hold territory right now. I'm not expecting anything crazy. Again, I'm open to it, but I think it makes more sense for something like that to come after. What are you guys thinking? I don't want to go on like a huge tangent here. I'd like to kind of ease into all my thoughts as we sail off into the Christmas holiday, but what do you guys think?
I mean, pull up ETH on the 1 hour right now, Max. Just pull it up. I mean, zoom out a
Beautiful.
little bit. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. I mean, dude, I think it's going higher in the short term. I really do.
Look at that, man. All
It
you needed
looks
was one trend line. That's it.
it looks primed for a rip. It really does.
I'm gonna show my fractal, guys. So I've been following this ETH fractal and actually trading it. Um, I've been trading it for a while now. Here, I'm gonna pull it up. Um,
Might just
January
have
bull
to.
fractal is what I have it saved as. Look at this thing, man. Look at this bad boy. Look at
Hmm.
this bad boy. Haven't
Yeah,
moved her. Haven't
that's
moved her at all.
it's working out.
It's working out, man. And there's some very, very real December seasonality, which we've talked about almost every day. But for those that are new here, we're going to continue to talk about it because it's about to happen. And I don't want anyone to say, well, I missed the episode where you talked about it. Well, no, you didn't, because I talked about it 30 minutes each episode. There's no way for you to miss it. You can't escape it. This is one of my more high conviction bets. I don't know if I've ever felt so convicted or confident in a trade. And that doesn't mean it increases the likelihood that it plays out. And I'm not really just talking about this fractal, right? The fractals never play out perfectly. But the idea that December seasonality will work out as a positive tailwind for ETH, and we're going to see a significantly higher ETH USD valuation, probably, I mean, immediately in Q1, but I think really for evaluation purposes sometime in Q2. I feel very, very convicted on that play. I really do. I want to get into all the reasonings why, but I really am going to strive for a conversation today rather than a giant monologue / rant about why I'm so bullish ETH. But it is nice to see. It is nice to see the ETH BTC valuation. For those that watched the show yesterday, I mean, look, this is the chart that we pulled up yesterday. I'm going to pull it up again. And this is the importance of following along with these shows because markets are changing every single day. And it's important to follow along because you need updates. So here's what we were talking about yesterday. Like this was precisely what we were talking about yesterday. And look what's happening. I even tweeted this out for those that missed the show. I even tweeted it out. We were talking about this low potentially getting front run and price moving up. And ETH BTC seems to have caught the attention of the market last night. Interesting, as we were talking about this during yesterday's show. But guys, speaking, excuse me, speaking of the show, we got a lot of people watching right now. And we got 23 likes here on YouTube. Twitter, we have, oh my, what is happening here? We got 8 likes on Twitter. Guys, we can do better than that. From the Twitter crew, we got 35 of you watching. We need at least 20 likes. Let's run that up. I know it's so easy on Twitter. All you got to do is just hit that heart button because guess what? You're already signed into your Twitter account if you're watching it. So just hit that heart button for us. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Your guys' support, your consistent liking and subscribing and following along, commenting. It really helps grow the channel. And we're here every single day for you guys, just as you guys are here for us. So let's see if we can run up the Twitter likes to 20. Again, guys, it just takes a quick second, and it really helps us grow. YouTube, you guys know the deal. I've got higher expectations for the YouTube crew. 50 people watching on YouTube alone, and we got 33 likes. We need at least a 1-to-1, guys. You know the routine. Let's run these likes up. You guys love the show. You're here every single day watching. Help support us. Hit that thumbs up. It really does wonders for the channel. But guys, talk to me. Is this the ETH rotation? That's the title of today's show. You know, it's kind of, it's intentionally pokey, right? But the ETH rotation just began. Did you miss it? A little bit dramatic, right? But we're having some fun. Is this the start of the ETH rotation?
Define the start of the ETH rotation.
Is this the start of months of outperformance of ETH against Bitcoin?
Of ETH against Bitcoin, that's harder to say, especially with the ETF catalyst on the table, because you know that's going to nuke the ETH BTC ratio.
I'm not here to ask easy questions, guys. I know it's a tough question.
I mean, it could be. I mean, looking at, I don't know about ETH BTC. If we're talking about ETH USD, though, yeah, I think it goes higher. But and if we're talking about like ETH versus other altcoins, like Sol potentially, and obviously most of the other ones, it could be like obviously Beta will still catch a bigger bid, right? Like Pepe is going to outperform ETH, but
okay, let me re-ask this then. Is this the start of the rotation from something like Solana becoming, you know, sort of redistributing back into ETH?
And you mean like an ecosystem rotation?
Yes. Is this where everybody stops saying ETH is dead and all the action is on Sol, and we start to show ETH some love?
Maybe.
I think so. Probably to the extent that, you know, we have the ETH ETF that's going to be a prevailing narrative. Once the spot ETF for Bitcoin is announced and completed, I do think you're going to see ETH start to outperform Bitcoin on a more substantial level. I mean, right now it's pretty restricted to just, you know, we get these 3 or 4% pumps on ETH and then it just kind of fizzles out. But I think we're going to get to a point, both from sentiment as well as positioning, because I'm not sure if we've talked about this before, but a lot of why ETH has underperformed is because people long altcoins and short ETH, right? And until we get a bid on ETH that's strong enough to, once we get a bid on ETH that's, I would say, more meaningful, you can get that liquidity vacuum effect. But I would say we're not quite there yet, because big money is still more interested in buying Bitcoin at the moment. And they're probably still more interested in buying things like Solana. And if they're more interested in using ETH as a hedge than they are for potentially bidding, I think as long as that dynamic is present in the market, it's going to be hard for ETH to move, aggressively higher. But it's also laying the seeds for that outperformance too, right? Because eventually that positioning is going to get way too skewed to one side. And Ethereum's going to be, it is going to have that liquidity vacuum effect. The timing, though, is going to be difficult. I think, spot is probably very, very comfy for Ethereum, but I think you still can ask the question going into the first half of 2024 about, are there going to be these layer ones that just still outperform Ethereum, even if Ethereum is going up pretty aggressively, which could happen. And that's what happened in 2020 and 2021 when Bitcoin moved up aggressively. There were plenty of altcoins that outperformed it, even though Bitcoin, had a very, very liquid 6 or 7x from the DeFi summer low, all within the period of 5 or 6 months. So maybe we see something like that for Ethereum. But I would say if we do have any sort of dump, over the next few weeks, I kind of think that Ethereum will dump less than Bitcoin. So you probably see ETH Bitcoin continue to rise from that standpoint. But I think the big risk for ETH Bitcoin is what Tucker pointed out, right? I mean, you can't just blindly take that pair trade yet, just because when we do get the ETF approval, you will probably see Bitcoin get or ETH Bitcoin have a big wick to the downside. And I do think that will mark a pretty long-term bottom on ETH Bitcoin. Otherwise, we're probably going to have a lot deeper fundamental debates about the viability of Ethereum versus Bitcoin long-term.
Yeah, you bring up a lot of good points, Tommy. As always, many such cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
many such cases. But I really think that we are in a period, and I don't know why. Okay, let me address this point that you brought up, Tommy. ETH has this perpetual. It's like I could see it working for it and against it for US dollar valuations. It has this perpetual short hedge appeal where people chase beta, they long beta, and they short ETH as a hedge, which is a good strategy. So it's got this volatility suppression, bug kind of attached to it. But at the same time, it can also work in its favor, where if those short hedges get blown out, you're going to see the God candle of all God candles. So I think we're getting to that point where that strategy will only work for so long. And to be clear, it's worked for like 2 years, okay? Maybe even longer. But I think we're getting into this point in time where I actually think I can make a case for us basically being in December of 2020. And I think we're going to have a pretty crazy next year. We're just starting to break out of this, multi-year range here. And things look just really solid to me, and it's like a lot of those feelings and my confidence comes from the negative sentiment around ETH as well. And then I don't know if what we're seeing right now is like the start of the rotation, but I think it's potentially a precursor on what's to come sometime after the holidays, because we were talking about this morning, but let's take a look at the frog, man. Let's take a look at the frog. This isn't the one I wanted. Let's take a look at the frog. One of our favorites here at Because Bitcoin is the frog. We are frog respectors. We are longtime frog respectors. You guys will know that about us if you've been tuning in for a while. Long time. There might not be a group of guys that respects the frog more than us. I mean, seriously, there's very, very few that love and appreciate and respect the frog like us here at BB. But I'll tell you, I'm fully expecting the frog to take off. If ETH does catch that rotation, I'm expecting something like this. All right, I'm expecting the frog to rip.
Mm-hmm. It looks good, man. Looks like SHIB. Is that Doge or SHIB?
That's Doge, but you could do both, right? Like I think it's relevant towards both. I think that the spirit of it is just it follows traditional meme cycle paths where you have a blow off top into a major exchange listing, Binance typically, or in more recent years. And then you get a major sell off, accumulation, FUD around the project, the main character leaves, Pauly, and then, it just rips face, And the on chain activity for Pepe still looks good. Like seeing seven figures on a 24-hour rolling basis of on chain activity, there's still interest in it, So I'm fully expecting Pepe to pull like a 7 to 10x here sometime next year. Fully expecting it.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah,
at least
minimum. I'd probably say more, honestly.
Tucker, maybe you could show your screen then.
Yeah, I just made it so that it's not looking terrible. Chrome tab. Yeah, that's the one. How's that?
That looks fantastic.
Doesn't it?
But I need those hands warmed up, man. We need some massages.
Oh, do we need some massaging? Yeah.
Tucker's the chief masseuse here at Because Bitcoin, man. He knows how to massage.
Yeah.
He's going to paint something for you guys right now.
Here's the difference, though, just eyeballing it, right? Like, we didn't really have the deviation on SHIB that we had on Pepe, but we'll massage anyways.
So that's even more bullish for Pepe, because typically when you get a deviation below fair value or the norm, typically you get a harder spring back or bounce back.
For sure. All right, boys, let's see what we can do here. See if this is even difficult. Oops. Yeah. We have to make it a little bigger. I mean, look, so the only there's like this deviation, right? Just this where Pepe got nuked because of that multi-sig thing, and SHIB didn't really do anything.
By the way, we bought that low too. We literally bought that low perfectly.
I know.
I took profits on it already, but I did hit a trade on that. The BB Discord scooped up that low.
I mean, if we want to make it like super current, that's what it would look like. Pretty locally. Looks pretty damn similar.
So here's my one question for you, Tucker or Tommy, right? We're talking about rotations, right? So let's just assume for the sake of the discussion, Pepe's not going to run unless ETH catches that rotation. I think that's obvious enough. You're not going to see ETH beta like SHIB or Pepe or, I don't know, Big Time or whatever else. You wouldn't see the Uniswap shitters catch a bid until ETH really starts to move. How far after ETH move, and where does ETH have to go in order for Pepe to break out? Do we need to see ETH at 2,500? Do we need to see it at 3,000? When would that rotation actually happen into ETH shitters?
ETH looks so good, man. I think ETH is about to rip it off like a Band-Aid. These highs, man. I don't know. I really, that looks so good.
I will not be trapped by another 3% Ethereum pump.
Come on, Tommy. Join the club. It's a good time. It's time. It's finally time, Tommy. This time is different than all these other times.
Is this time different?
Yes, it is.
Where does ETH need to go in order for the ETH shitters to really start running?
I mean, 2,500 for sure.
Do you think you flip 2,500?
That's 170 points. Like, that's nothing. Like, yeah.
I actually think the CME gap needs to get flipped on ETH.
Where's 2,500, dude? Yeah, that's a 7%. Come on, ETH has to be able to get there. Like,
yeah, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
I think once we flip that ETH CME gap, it's at like 2,600. Then I think the casino opens. And everything ERC20 just inflates, man. Just inflates. NFTs go stupid, man.
Oh, can you
Coins go
imagine the pandas, man?
The pandas will be at 4 or 5 ETH before this is all said and done, and ETH's going to be 3,000 plus.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about here? Can you
I
pull
wish
up
there
the
was
ETH
some
CME
sort of
chart?
simple NFT calculator I could figure out how much I would make.
Dude, there's got to be something like that on the market, or at least in development.
Or at least in development, yeah.
Can devs do something?
Devs are deving, I'll tell you what. They're shipping.
All right, ETH to 2,600. Max has to shave his head if we make it there in the next 2 weeks. Brother, I'm betting big money we do make it there in the next 2 weeks. I can't take that bet.
Yeah.
I would take the opposite side. I'd shave it if we didn't go to my price target, but I want it to go there. And I don't want to shave my head. I'm 28, man. It's starting to thin out. I don't know if it'll grow back like it is, you know? You got to be careful with that stuff.
I mean, what are we even like? Look at the look at the move down, man. Like, this is so thin. Like, this should literally just melt through here. Once there's any sort of demand for ETH, this should just melt through here.
Can you pull up the CME chart, Tucker?
Yeah.
It's one of my... So, I think you're going to flip.
Okay, so right here.
That gap, I think you're going to flip that gap and hold it as support. And then that's when the real fun starts. Like, we'll pause there, then we'll flip it, and then the move to like 3,500 starts.
Yeah, so it's about 2,600, 2,550.
I've got a... You guys are wondering when Pepe is going to start popping off. What about a Pepe bonk pair?
Oh, geez. Tom, you don't share the screen, bro.
Wait, do you have it pulled up?
No, I was just thinking out loud.
Pepe bonk, eh?
Well, yeah, make a synthetic pair.
Oh, you mean, okay. I thought you meant like just a comparison. Boom.
Oh, God. Is it in log, Tucker? Can we go log?
It's not gonna
deviation, bro.
It's coming back, guys. Don't worry.
It's gonna look worse than
looks
log.
Better not on it.
Yeah.
How far away is that wick from being a deviation on the pair?
This?
Yeah, like how far away is
that? Draw horizontal there, Tucker. At that opening tick.
765%, dude. Just to this wick. But
hang on. Here's actually where this might be off. Is we don't have all of the price data from Bonk or Pepe on here because Bonk started as like a shitty airdrop on Sol. And this doesn't include all the Pepe data. So there might be some level of support or something way down there.
No, this has the Pepe. I mean, oh, you mean the on-chain?
No, it goes back way further than that, at least for Bonk. Bonk came out a while ago.
No, Bonk what? Sol? What would be the Bonk pair that it started as?
It was on Sol, but it was like airdrop to... But it's old, man. But it was... I don't know.
Like what? Mexi, probably?
Probably your best guess. No, but see,
here's
not
the
even.
Pepe
I don't know if
PA.
I don't know if we can create a synthetic pair because we can't get all of the data.
This is the Pepe PA from April. Looks like we're finding support.
Look, that's an order block, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bullish order block. All right, Pepe, here we go.
Run it back.
Run it back.
I don't know.
We need a Dr. Outlook analysis on the RSI.
Yeah,
the RSI does look like it's round in the corner though.
On what?
Are you talking about the pair, or are you talking about
on this pair? Yeah.
I could get down. I mean, this is the type of coin that Dr. Outlook loves to buy right here. This loves to buy one of these because it'll.
I mean, I think on a broader scale, it's you're charting Sol ETH, right? But this is just the beta of those things.
Yeah, you probably float higher.
I think there might be more signal in like Pepe Shib or something like that, but I'm not sure.
Let's look at Sol ETH. Is it cooked yet? Oh, it's not.
It's
You
not.
say? It's not cooked. Higher. Billions will cope.
Billions are coping already.
Billions are coping.
The cope will continue until morale deteriorates.
Yeah.
I think the funniest outcome is that ETH Bitcoin is bottomed or has bottomed with the exception of an ETF wick, and Sol continues to outperform it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see how this doesn't. I mean, I guess we're kind of getting it. Yeah, I bet. Highs run. Zoom out on the monthly. Yeah.
From a guy named Will. Funny enough.
Run them. Run them in one candle.
I mean, how much of the spot ETF approval news is already priced into this ETH BTC chart is what we need to ask.
Maybe this a little bit.
Right. So it's like
0.06 maybe.
We're talking about and entertaining, and for good reason, this pair nuking on that news, like the knee-jerk down and then a quick recovery. But what if that's kind of already been priced in, and it has been for months?
I don't know if it's fully priced in, though. I mean, maybe. Nah. When they announce it, people are just going to ape into Bitcoin in like that hour, and you'll probably just see like a demon wick and then that. Like that'll be what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then that's the absolute low, and it probably just trends up for the next 12 months against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously over time, like, you're better off holding ETH, period, hands down, end of story, right? Like,
you think so?
Yeah.
Tommy seems to have forgotten.
I mean, look at the ETH BTC pair since inception. It's up, right? That's all there is to it.
Yeah, but it's all about timing, right? I mean, most people didn't
sure,
exactly at the low.
But if you had just bought, I mean, obviously, if you bought ETH at ICO, it's not even a conversation. You're up a disgusting amount, but I agree. It's about timing, but I think on like a 4 or 5 year basis, ETH outperforms Bitcoin every time.
Why do you think that ETH didn't make a new high last cycle against Bitcoin? That's not like a gotcha question. I'm genuinely curious.
It also didn't make a new low.
Here's what I don't want. Here's what I don't want for ETH BTC, which would be a nightmare, is for this to just become an altcoin index oscillator, like alt season. I don't want it to just continue to buoy up and down. Yes, exactly. We need it to get above like 0.1 this next cycle. And it doesn't necessarily need to make a new all-time high next cycle, but it needs to at least get above the previous cycle highs. Because there's no point in holding ETH if it's just going to be an oscillator. It's good for trading.
Well, that's the best you can pretty much hope for with any altcoin, is that it oscillates against Bitcoin, right? Like it's either, and Ben Cohen talks about it, right? It's either like the chart either looks like this or it looks like this. What like what ETH is doing, right? So like there's no real charts that like actually look like this against Bitcoin. They just don't. So, I mean, it is all about timing, right? If you're going to play altcoins, but like the best you can really hope for is to time the oscillating pairs.
Yeah. And I mean, if you mark out December of 2020, I think that's where the ETH BTC pair is right now. December of 2020, right there. So you see that little like sweep of the low right there. I think that's basically where we are, somewhere in there.
Where this sweep?
Yeah, I think we're right in there. I think we swept that low. I think this is where we're at right now. And it also makes sense contextually with where ETH USD and BTC USD both are.
I mean, look, if we're in Q4 2020, then that's all those max bull fractals. That's what they're from.
Yes. Oh, yes. Like and I don't know, this might be too much information to pull up on the screen, but if you pulled up ETH USD as well, you'd see that contextually they're at somewhat similar points.
Whoa.
So if you go to December 2020.
Whoa, we had some drawings.
You might need to put it in log.
No, we just need to zoom out. December 2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can make a case that we're potentially, exiting our reaccumulation, and the ETH BTC pair looks very similar to where it was before absolute mania, just as it broke out of that bottoming formation there.
Because look, even like you're looking at it and it's not even zoomed in, like you had this and then you popped and then you pulled back and then you did this and then you vertically accumulated and then you ripped. And it's like,
yes. And by the way, Tucker, look when we ripped. If you zoom in there, dog, if you zoom in on December 2020, January 1st through 3rd, we literally teleported, man. That's why I keep saying.
Yeah, we did.
So that's what I'm saying, where it's like December is the best time to accumulate. Look at the context of where ETH BTC is. We're in a pre-halving year, and we just broke out of a 550-day accumulation on ETH. January 1st hits. Give me all of the Pepe. Give me all of the beta.
Give me all the Pepe now, man. Who even cares? It's going to pull a 10x.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Like, I don't think it matters on a higher time frame. I don't think it matters if you buy it here or 30% lower for Pepe. It's going to literally pull a 10x in a quarter. So
let's see here.
Yeah, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. That's exactly right. And
could have foreseen.
Max could have foreseen. And the ETH BTC pair contextually lines up exactly with that breakout.
Deviation, bruv.
I love how you have that saved as a template. Like,
of course I do, Max. God damn it. Yes, there we go. Beauty. When we were doing this with Bitcoin, it was every single cycle under this low back here ended up being a deviation. You get above it, it's just a send.
It's a lock. Can you do this, Tucker? Can you add over this chart, not a new chart, but add over this chart the ETH BTC valuation, like in the upper left corner, add it on top. So ETH BTC, but don't add it on a new pane. Add it on a new price scale. Yes. Maybe make it a line chart instead.
I'm going to make it a line.
I think that was the ETH chart. Do ETH BTC as a line instead.
Yeah.
Got some trading view experts in here. Good Lord.
I spend a lot of time in front of the see it at the top where it says new line. So
it's in orange.
Yeah, there we go. So
get rid of all this.
Look at where ETH BTC is. I mean, you could keep that. That's fine. The deviation rub kind of helps.
Okay.
But if we look at contextually this capitulation and drawdown that's happening in ETH BTC and line it up with a huge breakout happening and December seasonality, what are we really talking about here?
Yeah, that's right there. The end of December, it just gets absolutely nuked.
And I like it even more because of that we just broke out of this giant reaccumulation for ETH.
Yeah. It's interesting to me how it's holding the previous cycle's breakout point as support on ETH Bitcoin, like relatively speaking. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
This?
It's like the midpoint of that move up from last cycle, Tommy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of that price action on ETH BTC below 0.045 is like mega demand,
Mega demand, baby.
That's basically like sub 13K on Bitcoin.
You got to love mega demand, brother.
Super mega demand.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to be more clear. We talk about it every day. Like, I am shoving Ethereum here, and I have been since 1684. I am literally shoving ETH, and I'm not going to stop shoving ETH because I think that there is a non-zero chance that ETH is pushing $4,000 in the first half of next year. At this point,
You think it goes where?
I think there's a non-zero chance that ETH is pressuring 4,000 in the first half of next year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would definitely adhere to that thesis. I said on the call this morning, I honestly I think there's a non-zero probability that the cycle top is in the first half of next year.
It's not even it was a meme like 6 months ago that we'd go to an all-time high before the halving, but I actually don't think it's a meme. I actually think it's more likely than it's not that we could potentially make a new all-time high before the halving or right around the halving and then dip after the halving.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of this idea like when the secret gets out about the halving and the 4-year cycles, then it can't be that easy anymore. Something's different. So maybe it's just getting front run and they know they have to speed it up because there is some economic turmoil coming next year at some point.
Yeah, I saw that there's pretty good odds we get a rate cut within 6 months, so it kind of lines up with the timeline.
Yeah. You're on mute, Tucker.
My mic muted itself. Rate cuts aren't inherently bearish.
Right.
We went through I mean the first batch of rate cuts before COVID. We still rallied aggressively.
No, but like just a rate cut on its own is not bearish. It's why they're cutting, obviously, right? It's like if he actually pulls off, I can't believe I'm saying it, but like if he actually pulls off the soft landing and is able to cut on his own terms, that's probably the most bullish thing you could imagine. Like it just is.
But why would they cut rates if nothing's broken, Tucker? Why, if the economy's holding strong, why would they not just maintain?
Because it's an election year and inflation's down.
Are they worried about deflation?
No.
Like, why would they cut? Why would they not just hold rates, the effective federal funds rate at over 5%?
Because they should know that if they do that, well, first of all,
if the economy can maintain, if the economy can maintain and hold strong with 5% plus federal funds rate, why even tamper with it?
They can't. They're going to have to pay back debt on those new interest rates in 2024 at some point. So they're going to, for their own sake, they're going to want to cut, right? So
okay, that's fair.
So there's that point, but also it's like they should know that they can't hold them there forever. Like if I was in charge, I would probably just start cutting, man. Honestly,
Would
I
you
would probably
money
just start
too?
cutting because inflation is down, and you know that you hiked that fast. It's probably not going to be okay in like a year's time or something. Like probably something's going to go wrong. So, I mean, we see the BTFP continue to get borrowed from, which is not really that great of a signal, but I don't know. I'd cut hard.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I don't think that the first batch of rate cuts will be overtly bearish because I mean, there's a major lag for hikes and also cuts, but I could see them cutting the Fed funds rate down to like 4% and holding there for 6 months. And then the second batch of rate cuts is like, oh, okay, we need more. Something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. If they're cutting because something actually is wrong, then that obviously is your signal to GTFO of the market, right? But if that's not the case, then I mean,
yeah, man, listen, we got some time. I mean, I don't think it's a freebie, right? Like there's definitely, even in bullish markets, there's big pullbacks, right? But Yeah, man, Pepe is gonna fucking fly. Absolutely fly.
What am I looking at?
That's not happening. You're not getting that level. You're not getting that level
I
down.
know. I'm thinking, what is my drawdown if I just ape right here?
I think best case you get like, what is it, 10? Maybe.
Maybe get down here again.
Big maybe though. Big maybe.
25%. I can eat that.
I don't even, dude. I just don't think you're gonna get that level again though.
I
truthfully.
don't know. I don't either. Like if it follows the SHIB thing, it should start absolutely tearing soon.
Pepe is a meat grinder, and then it's a rocket ship. That's all it is. It will grind you, shake you out. Don't trade it on perps, and then it will just teleport.
Yeah. What's he doing?
Have we looked at SHIB yet in comparison?
Oh,
I think we have.
No, ETH, no.
They won't trap me.
They
won't trap me.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could see 2250, 2220 again on ETH, man. Like it doesn't.
I mean, that's totally fine.
I'm not expecting ETH to break out here until after Christmas. I think we're gonna just, news-driven catalysts aside, waste everybody's time staring at the charts until after the holidays.
I mean, you're not getting below there.
You're not.
You're not getting below 21. They're 40.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Right there. There we go.
I mean, seriously, like I can't be more clear. Like January, the new year hits. You got to try to buy the wick below the yearly open for ETH. You look at the yearly open tick wherever it's at. If it's at 2,300, whether it's at 2,400, there's any wick, any price action below that yearly open, that's it for me. I am all in. The remainder of my cash on hand.
Max, how do you make that a candle?
You got it. You just need to change the color. You just need to change the color. Make the color.
Yeah, it's rotated rectangle. Now, how'd you put wicks on it?
No, I drew the wicks with like trend lines.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't a clean process. So make the candle look how you want it to.
Yeah.
You're like, not worth it.
Not worth it, no. Where's Pepe?
What do we think about like TIA and maybe Sol? Yeah. Let's talk about some of these.
I mean, Sol is just a complete Chad.
Yeah, Sol's insane, man. Did it hit 100 or did it get front run?
No, it hit 99.50 something.
Do me a favor, Tucker. Go to the monthly chart on Sol.
I know. There's a level.
We talked about this yesterday. Look at that level. Who could have foreseen? That's the cope level. That was like
max. What are we talking about? Right here?
Yeah. We talked about this level yesterday.
I know.
And look what happened.
My God. I'm deleting that line. It's too bearish.
We did talk about that level yesterday, to be fair.
That
would have been such a good scalp, man. Jeez.
I know.
Let's see, what is TIA doing? I did the right thing and I deleted it from my watch list. If you guys don't know why I did that, check my Twitter. I talk about how I think most people would be better off deleting Celestia from the watch list, holders and traders. Traders because it's quite frankly awful to trade. Most people who would tell you otherwise, I think, are lying, or they've just caught. I would say, you can trade TIA successfully. I'm kidding a little bit because if you're patient, there are good setups trading it. But after that initial, 4 or 5x pump, it has definitely become a lot more of a choppy uptrend. Holders should delete it because if you have a good entry, you just don't want to fumble that bag. Just staring at lower time frame chop, because that's exactly what Celestia is. It's it's a market maker meat grinder at this point. I can only hope that Wintermute doesn't have enough coins to destroy any positive price action that we're going to have on it.
Do you think we're going to get a deep flush on Celestia before higher, or is this just sort of vertical accumulation, Tommy?
I kind of think we could get a move like what Tucker just outlined, maybe to around $10.
Maybe
That would make
just for the
sense to me.
culture, send it under 10 for everybody to say it's dead and then run it back.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these charts, when we look back on them, they're going to just like the dips are going to probably, if this is going to be one of those situations where, you know, we have a cyclical top in 2024, even the first half of 2024, then dips are ultimately on a higher time frame just going to look like higher lows, right? And it's just going to continue grinding higher, shaking people out with deeper dips than they would feel comfortable, and then ultimately resolving in higher prices.
Yeah. I could see that. I like that chart, Tucker.
Yeah, what is that? 850? Yeah, I mean, I just at this point I've shaved so much, I'm just staking a bunch of Celestia. And I'm gonna continue just farming airdrops, man. It is what it is. The TIA airdrops are gonna be phenomenal.
They're gonna make Sol look like the test airdrops.
Yeah, they are.
I need to buy some. I mean, I hit a couple trades on Celestia this year, just like, you know, I didn't own any spot. It was on perps, but I need to, because I want those airdrops, man. I need to acquire some and throw it in a wallet and just stake it and leave it, because that is free money in my opinion.
And yeah, there's already a dimension drop for TIA stakers.
I'm not ready.
Yeah,
I do think there are some, like the best airdrops, I think, are, well, Solana's airdrops, I guess we can kind of see later on if those end up being the best airdrops of the cycle. But I do think there are some chains that aren't as talked about at the moment. We were texting about this last night, guys, and I'll keep this exclusive to the Giga Chad membership. If you guys want to join, you can get this this exclusive play. But you know, I think there are a few of these chains that are going to have a lot of really great airdrop opportunities, and people have completely forgotten about those chains over the last few months because of the way that Solana has outperformed and because of the way that TIA has outperformed since it launched. You know, right now, everybody is going to be looking at those two places for airdrops still. And I think, I will say, I think a lot of the airdrop alpha in Solana is probably a little bit diluted now at this point until the asset cools off. But there are some of these chains, some don't even have a token yet, that will have a lot of airdrop opportunities. And I think a lot of opportunity for people who are early to the chain and, you know, show a faith in their ability to build.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of them are pretty diluted on Solana. You're talking about like Margin Fi and Marinade and some other ones. I mean, there's people with like millions of points, right? So it's like, what? They're not going to make the points. Like, you know what I mean? It's like they're going to be worth hardly anything because people are just farming it so hard. So yeah, I think there's definitely opportunity on other chains. Base, Injective, some other ones, but
well, Injective kind of seems like it's maybe crowded. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I don't think it's crowded for farming. I think like the token is crowded, definitely. But I mean,
INJ kind of reminds me of
what?
It kind of reminds me of Luna, where there was just no network activity for ages, and then all of a sudden there was a ton.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't even know where to begin farming on Injective. Like, I haven't even looked into it. I'm sure, I mean, some people have, but
like I don't remember anybody being on the Luna layer 1 really, outside of the people who really believed in the token until Luna was above 40 or 50 bucks.
Yeah.
And then after that, I mean, obviously the rest is history. We won't traumatize anybody with with that part of the lore.
Yeah, I mean, the Luna comparisons, I just don't think are real because with other tokens, right? Like, because nothing else really has that DM loop, right? That Luna had.
Not yet.
I mean, not yet. Like, something
so
will.
far. Yeah. So far. I think locally INJ might be top though. That would make sense to me. $44. Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. It literally ran 200% in 10 days.
We can't see you're still showing TIA, Tucker. I don't know if you know that or not.
Huh? Oh shoot. Sorry. What'd you say? INJ?
That's
Jeez.
incredible.
I mean,
Wow.
the thing was $1 in January. The thing was $1.15 in January.
Is that $40 now? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got to $43.
That's
Why can't that happen to
incredible,
me
man.
just once?
Unbelievable.
Why? I missed this one for sure. I didn't
Yeah, same.
this wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah.
Market's too big, man. There's so much stuff to watch. It's just
There
It's
is
impossible to watch everything.
now more than ever, I think.
we hit some great plays, but we missed the fuck out of this one. I'll be honest.
We did. Yeah,
Bobby
we
got
did.
this one. At least he caught the first run up on it.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he took it to like $7 or $8.
Yeah, I mean, what was that, a 7x? I mean, I was about to say that was the meat of the move, but not really.
Yeah.
You could have taken it from 7 to 40.
Insane coin, man.
Just
Jump knows how to pump their bags. That's for sure.
It's a jump coin, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Jump will do sketchy things to pump their coin. It's funny because there was some FUD on INJ, and it was like market makers controlling the supply and manipulating data. And I'm reading it and I'm just thinking to myself, you're telling me this is bearish? That they found a way to pump the token easily and that they're successfully doing so?
Literally. I mean, my God. Yeah, I mean, it might be
Right.
topped locally, but
That's probably the highest performing large cap of the year. I mean, I'd be shocked if one outperformed
has
it
to be.
this year.
Yeah, because Sol's up like what, a little over 10x. This thing's up 30x, 28x. That's wild.
Rule of thumb: buy the jump coins,
Mm-hmm.
except for LDO. Do not buy that one.
Jackus
What does
likes
LDO even look like?
Dude,
It's having a good day, I think. Jackus really likes LDO.
look at this chart on the weekly. It's just
I think the only thing that matters is LDO against ETH. Like if you looked at the LDO ETH pair, that's what matters, right? Why would you hold LDO if it's not going to outperform ETH?
no, it's not.
So if this
I'm
pair
sure
looks-
LDO will rip eventually, but trying to
Yeah.
trade it like it will be a nightmare.
I would
even a
only
LDO
I would
at this
only
point?
hold it instead of ETH, maybe. I have never owned it, but maybe. This is the only chart that matters for it right here. Will
The
it
market
squeeze?
cap's already $2 billion on LDO. What's the
Wow.
upside?
10 billion.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be upside. I take that back. If ETH really rips and the staking narrative becomes really hot, then obviously LDO is going to run.
Yeah. Besides LDO and Pepe, what's another good ETH beta play?
I mean, SHIB.
Bitcoin, ticker Bitcoin. I mean,
I don't know if ticker Bitcoin is gonna. I thought for a while it would, but someone brought this up. It might have been.
that's
Oh my! Someone brought this up. I think it was ISO on a space that we were on together. He said, "I think there's some headwinds where it won't get any major exchange listings because they don't want to confuse their users by listing something that's Bitcoin, called Bitcoin." Because they don't want people buying stuff by accident and it could be a liability. So I think that is a very real headwind that ticker Bitcoin will face, that it will probably only be an on-chain driven coin, which it can still pump like crazy, but it's never going to get listed on Gemini or, Kraken or I don't know. It's not going to get those big centralized exchange listings because of the name.
Ticker Bitcoin.
what do you see, Max?
Can you go to a lower time frame?
I'm
The
on the
half
1
second.
second. I can't.
Oh, you don't subscribe to Premium Ultra, where you can go to half a second?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Take out that wick and then rip, right?
Yep.
You know that there's somebody out there that actually trades ticker Bitcoin on the 1 second chart and like actually
Sure.
trades it for sure. He's
Look at
out
all
there
this-
right now, bloodshot eyes,
Look at
staring
all
at
the
it.
signal, man. So much signal.
It's sickening how early I was to this coin
I know.
and how
That
little
happens
I
to you a
made.
lot, Tommy.
Oh, over. Oh my god, it's over.
Tommy, you're always too early for your own good, man.
Yeah, it'd be
Wow.
like that
Did we
sometimes.
just do it. We just took out the wick and now it's gonna send. We should be trading this on the 1 second.
No, we should not.
That'd be good.
Let's pull up equities. I want to talk about the stock market a little bit.
Let's do it.
Are you a boomer?
Maybe.
Okay, boomer. You
All right,
remember
what
that
do you-
meme, that video? It's so
Wait, what?
stupid. Never mind. It was like this really stupid video, like okay, boomer, whatever
Oh.
you say. This
Okay.
really stupid video.
I mean,
And guys, before we transition to talking about legacy and some individual stocks, just a quick reminder, if you are enjoying the content, please make sure to just hit that thumbs up button for us. The last stream before Christmas, guys, we got 56 likes on YouTube, a little bit lower than normal, but hey, we still appreciate it. Thanks so much for the support. Let's see if we can run those likes up, guys. It really does wonders for the show. It does wonders for the channel. And again, we're able to grow so quickly because of your guys' continued support of what we are building. As well, if you are looking and watching here on Twitter, hit that like button. It's super easy on Twitter. You're already there. Just hit the heart button. It really does wonders for the show. And thanks again so much for joining us today, guys. One more thing. If you are new here, this is your first time watching and you have not subscribed to the channel yet, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time with myself, Tucker, Snorlax, Will's Outlook, and Jackus. Normally 5 of us, but a little bit different today with the holidays coming up. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel as well. Either, follow us on Twitter or subscribe on YouTube so that you can be notified and made aware of when we go live, which again is 5 days a week. It's basically just an alpha dump. We just come on here, talk narratives, talk price, talk charts, do intermarket analysis, look at Harry Potter Obama Sonic Tenino on the 1 second chart. I mean, who doesn't love that? Yeah, so please consider liking and also subscribing, guys. Thanks again for the support. Look at QQQ, man. Do we think that we are due for some sort of moderate pullback or healthy market correction before higher? Or is it just up only forever?
I think it's still got higher to go, honestly, Max.
Elaborate.
I mean, I'm continuing to work on the premise that the Qs and the SPX are mimicking the price action that Bitcoin did with the double top deviation play. I think the Qs probably just continue to chat into the end of the year, honestly, and then we can kind of reevaluate, I guess. But it's hard to be bearish until at least until you see those supportive flows stop in the middle of January. That Chem Carson's talked about, right? And he talked about him before we had the massive move off the low, right? I mean, he talked about how basically the supply of volatility, there was a lot of supply of volatility, which is really why the VIX was never able to break resistance more meaningfully. And once the supportive flows came back into the market, once the QRA, provided incentive for people to continue speculating, we got the massive rip off the low, and I think the momentum is still strong enough to continue carrying us for at least another week into the end of the year. Maybe we can reevaluate in January if people want to take profits at the beginning of the year. But I do think, generally speaking, the Qs are probably going higher, and I'm not really expecting any sort of meaningful pullback until around like 420 meme number.
Yeah,
I kind of like that. I like that. If you go, Tucker, to the left, if you just look from like January 1st, 2021, all the way to the previous all-time high, see how, we basically went straight up in a straight line, but it was a very like textbook, technical, methodical move up. It was a stair step, right? It was just a beautiful stair step. That's kind of what I'm looking for from here is we're going to see price move much higher in my opinion. But I do think we are going to get these like deep shakeouts like we did in 2021, where everybody, on every drop, everybody goes, it's over. And then, we just go on to
We're
make a
so
new
down.
high. Yeah. So I don't know exactly where that starts. I think you just bid the dips if and when they come. If you get that stair step, I think you just bid it. Yeah, exactly, Tucker. Exactly. And then eventually I think we'll get a big correction. I don't know when. But for me, I think it makes sense to just have like healthy long exposure. And then just when you get those dips, when you get that stair step, you just shove. That's it. I don't think it needs to be overcomplicated.
Yeah.
Tucker, what is this propaganda?
That's
That's what
the,
it does every time, right?
So we're going to go to 500, and then you're going to buy some January 2026 QQQ 240s
Yeah.
and make a 500x on some puts.
Just print. Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
I don't remember the last time I bought a put, man. I miss it. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like shorting the market. It changes my psychology. I become a more negative and cynical person.
If you're doing it for too long, yeah, I agree.
2022 was it was very profitable for me. Like I had a rolling shorts all year, but it was a dark time, man. It's not fun being negative about things at all. It's
For
much
sure.
more fun being positive. But you kind of have to, when you become a short seller with conviction, it's hard to escape that mindset. It is like it's I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but it's like if you're watching a show that's really heavy, like emotionally, either like really sad or really dark, it can kind of affect your psyche a little bit if you get too into it. So I don't know. I hope we don't get some major doom. Like,
No,
I don't know. I don't want to go back to that mindset. I'll do it if I have to, I'll short the fuck out of the market if I have to, but I do not like entering that mode. It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
Yeah, no, it's just the like, oh, it's completely over mode. It's not
And you just start looking for every negative thing and just like, oh, this is done, this is over, like the market's, this and that. Like it's just, it's not fun to focus on that stuff,
Mhm.
And I also think it's not a winning strategy to have that type of mindset. Making long-term bets against, ingenuity, and industry and human, I don't know, like human, what would it be? Like prosperity and ingenuity and advancement, I don't think is a good bet really ever.
Mhm.
I really don't. Like we're not a species you want to bet against. Like we are, I mean, we're beavers, man. We're engineers. We create, we tinker, we build. So yes, there are dark times in human history, but I think always looking at the negative is or trying to forecast the negative is going to be a losing strategy over.
Clearly.
Yeah, I mean, it just
I
exactly.
mean, what is there to say? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
the only worry is right if you're doing something like this, right? That's the only potential concern, right? Like
and to be
that.
clear, I think we could do something like that.
Mhm.
I'm open to retesting the lows that we set in October of last year, but I don't know if I attach I don't know if I attach a super high probability to it. Like I'm open to anything, which is why I don't discount it,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's super likely, at least not right now. We'll see where we top out. Like if we go way above the previous all-time high, like I know we just wicked above it. If we go to like 6,000, we're not coming back to those lows. All right. If we top out at 5,100,
I mean, max, what are we talking about here?
again, I think it depends where we top out, right? Like I think there is a big pullback coming.
20% above the high.
Yeah, but it was a
Came
shit
back
coin
just
back
went
then.
below.
Look at that. I think, okay, look, let's run through a scenario. Go to current price action. Let's go to the previous high. All right. Let's assume we go to 6,000. Okay, hypothetically.
Okay.
I think your nuke will take you back to like 4,500. that would be like a nuke. All right. If we go to 6,000, your recession pullback takes you back to basically current levels or just below. Maybe you could draw it like a fractal or like a line.
You want a fractal, Max?
No, okay, not even fractal. Just take out an arrow and draw it.
You don't want the fractal, Max.
I can't handle the fractal.
Yeah. Well, let's just do the whole thing. Why don't we? The S&P was $80. Oh my god.
It's a shit coin.
Yeah, it was an actual shit coin. Look at this. Come on. They can't teach this, Max. I mean, this is just, this is real, man. Here. Here we go. Are you ready for this, Tommy?
I don't think I am, man.
No. That'd be a nightmare. Dude, down into the 2050s, man.
Hang on.
We're going to be old men at that point. We don't have time for this.
No, we don't. We don't have time.
That's a lot of volatility in between, though, honestly.
That's true.
Oh, no.
You can kiss having a long-term portfolio goodbye, Tommy. There will be no passive portfolio for us.
Just the way I prefer it.
It is.
All right. I don't think that's happening, but interesting. Okay, let me rephrase that. I pray that does not happen.
That's the what year does it have us breaking out? Is that 2044?
Oh god.
45.
Oh, man. It's an astrologically significant date, boys.
Oh, Plutonic is back.
Right.
Plutonic finished his orbit. He's back.
I mean, imagine playing these swings, man. Those are 50% swings.
Dude, you don't want the S&P 500 dipping 50% twice in a decade. You do not want that.
I want the cheap coins.
Yeah. Okay, Tucker, delete that. Let's go over this scenario. Delete that. It is beautiful.
That's a better scenario than like a depression, though.
Okay,
yeah. Top out in July of 25. Oh shoot. Well, that says we pull back to like 4,200.
All right, can you make a fractal for me here? Delete that. I want to go over this scenario.
I'm saving it though.
Fine, do what you want with it. Delete those green lines too. Do whatever you want.
All
right. Let's draw a horizontal line from the previous all-time high through where we're at right now.
The bodies or the wicks?
Whatever, doesn't matter. If we break out here, and this is like a mega cup and handle pattern, and we go to like 6,000, could you draw like a squiggly line up to 6,000?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go up to 6,000. If we're up there and we get the recession, we're going to come back and retest this base right here. Okay. If we go that high, the recession is going to take us back down to, 4,800 to 4,500. And that's it. So maybe
you're saying this base will end up being like this base.
Yes, exactly. We're leveling up. But if we top out here at 5,000 or 5,100, and then the recession hits, then I think you can, maybe say 4,000 probably gets tested, sub 4,000. But it depends where we top out. I don't know where we're going to top out here. I'm not really interested in guessing. I know that for the time being, it makes sense to have long exposure. But yeah, I mean, I think where the potential, like everybody likes to debate, will the pre-COVID highs get tested again? And, there's a lot of liquidity lower and the lows set in 2022 are not safe again. You don't know that yet. Like if we actually rip here and the recession doesn't happen for a year or two, you might just come back and retest 5,000 and that's your generational, shove spot. It's kind of like the Bitcoin debate. You might get that shakeout, but it might be from 65K down to 40K. You don't know where the shakeout's going to happen from. Is March your boy, Tucker?
Yeah, he is. Look at him. He said, "Let's shove."
Yeah. Is it Mark or March? Did he make
March? March, the month.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
March, let's go, man. Tucker's told me about you, man. We have similar strategies right now, March.
Yeah.
I'm one with your strategy. That's my mindset right now.
Look at this though. This takes you all the way to 5,300, and then you can still come down here. I agree though. 6K, I don't think you get this. But
Okay, here's the thing, man. We would do very well trading something like that because we have acquired that skill set. From like a human perspective, you do not want that to happen. What are the implications of the S&P 500 doing this all the way until 2040? What does that say about
This
the
is,
state of the world that we live in? You
I
really,
think it's,
really do not want that.
I think it's saying that boomers are distributing their wealth onto a new generation, painted on a chart.
yeah, literally.
Maybe, but it's the only way that that chart works is if we have a decade of deflation and you're actually increasing purchasing power because we have like some deflationary environments. So even if the S&P 500 is ranging, you're still picking up purchasing power. But I don't think that's going to happen either.
Yeah, it's like what would crypto do in this environment? It doesn't line up with what crypto's doing at all is the problem, because it's saying you're basically topped and you pull back until June and then you rip until the end of the year, or no, for a full year until 2025 summer, and that's your bull market. And then you just 2-year recession, you know.
Yeah. I mean, look, again, I think you kind of just it's interesting to entertain a scenario like that, but I really think you can only forecast moves maybe 6 months out because things are changing so quickly. If we actually have a blow off top here, we'll never even get close to breaching 4,000 again. You'll pull back to 5,000 and you'll be happy to bid it. But if we get rejected at 5,000, we're probably going sub 4,000 again. But I don't know. Like I can't forecast out that far. Like it doesn't even. Yeah,
I mean, you're probably gonna get a pullback like that at some point. It's a lot of green candles in a row.
and if you draw a horizontal line from June 2022, Tucker, to the left, June 2020, or sorry, June 2021. My bad.
Oh, 2021.
Right there, that shoulder before the little all-time high, up a
Here?
little bit, up a little bit,
This
up
one?
a little. Nope, one more. Up to the top of those candles right there. Left. Yep. Drag it to the left now. Start it across the top of those. Yes. I think it's possible you deviate the all-time high and then you make your stair step down to like 4,500, just like we were talking. And then you go to that's where one of the stair steps will be formed. I like that level a lot.
Yeah. Drawings are so ugly on the monthly.
Yeah.
Somebody asked for render. You want to do render?
That's one you really haven't looked at.
Jesus.
Look at those wicks. Oh my gosh.
I can't believe this. What was, I guess, did it come out at the top? Yeah, it did. It literally launched at the top of the market and just nuked the whole time.
Is that bullish though? Is that bullish that something like this launched at like the worst possible time?
Yeah.
That might be bullish.
Yeah, I mean, you got the played. I mean, I don't even know what you look for in terms of levels to the upside. Like, what did this wick to? 7? I mean, when those Apple goggles launch, this thing's probably going to double digits, honestly.
Why do you say that? What's the relation there?
Yeah, Apple's using them to like render their like goggle tech or whatever. They're like, I don't know what you're going to use the goggles for, like metaverse stuff, gaming stuff, whatever, but like they're using these people's AI tech to do it.
Okay. I mean, that's bullish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy, what do you think about Tesla, man?
Let me take a look. I think it's gonna rip, man. I really do.
It's a meat grinder.
It's a meat grinder right now because it's. But I think if you zoom out, the structure on it is fairly clean. right? I
Yeah.
mean, like if we look at the 4-hour, for example, you can see that we're forming a reaccumulation structure that looks to me like it's ready to launch. We're making a series of progressively higher lows. And I think the RSI looks very constructive as well on a higher time frame. So I mean, if you're going to get the rip, it's probably going to come from around here, in my opinion. Like you shouldn't trade back down to like 230 or like maybe even not even back down to 240, given the strength that we've already shown and the buyback. I mean, this is one of the stronger looking mega cap, and I always like mispronounce. I like mix up all the words trying to pronounce the large cap tech stocks. That's just what I'll say. I think Tesla looks. I mean, it just looks primed, man. It should run, and I think the other EV stocks look very good as well. Kind of letting you know a little bit ahead of time that people are wanting to bid EVs a little bit stronger. So, yeah, no, I think there are definitely signs, and that setup, with the trend line is definitely valid. Let's see, what is that in January or February? I had a pretty similar idea on mine. I think we get there in January up to like 330, 350 within that vicinity.
And I pulled a Tommy Tucker, and I stole
I know
it. I pulled a Tommy. I like these equal highs up here at 315. Real nice equal highs. And I don't know if what level of overextension we get, but I mean, I like this level a lot. And then like going down to the 4-hour, like Tommy was talking about here, I think that this, although it's choppy, is quite constructive. This looks like we broke out, retest, even though it was very aggressive. And it looks like we're primed. It really does. It looks like we're primed. So maybe it's a next year thing at this point, but just wanted to show you guys that chart.
Yeah. I think it does look good.
I wouldn't be scalping it though. It's real. It's like the TIA of legacy.
Dude, it is. It's disgusting, man.
Trades horribly on the low time frames.
Yeah. I mean, you could call it a normie, one of those.
Yeah, and flip the chart, actually. Invert the chart, and let's look at that. You could take RSI off, too. I don't think we need it for that. Look at the balloons. Did you see the balloons?
No.
Dude, who saw the balloons? Somebody in the comments who's watching. Who just saw
me
those
or
balloons?
you?
Me. It went over me.
Dude, it's done it to me like many times. I don't know what it is.
Can somebody in the comments verify if it was just for a split second? There were balloons that like animated around me.
It's been doing that recently.
It's weird. I don't know what it is. It's not a feature. Maybe it is. I don't. Somebody in StreamYard's messing with it.
Not a bug.
Yeah.
Look at this chart, man. This is the old dump it chart right here. Dump it.
I mean, yeah, it's literally like breakout, retest, nuke it.
What I like the most about this chart is that you have such clear invalidation. That's why I like this trade the most. It's a little choppy, it's a little grindy, but I know exactly where I'm wrong.
Yeah, you shouldn't go back below like 240.
That gap should be safe. You shouldn't hit that gap again. That should be left behind.
Yeah, I mean, you should really just like extend down here.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I mean, we've got this like slow bleed and to break the trend line. I think that's more what you want to see, right? Like Dr. Outlook's talked about this. I mean, typically before really strong trending moves, you see like the smaller candles, I mean, it's like a tight range, but it's barely choppy PA. That's usually what you see before you see expansion.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're seeing that. That's for sure.
Let's look at PayPal.
Let's look at PayPay.
I think PayPal's primed, man. It's going to happen soon.
This is going to be a 1 week, like 2x kind of thing. It's going to be, if it does happen,
one of those.
It's going to be a January God candle, but just like out of nowhere, some news breaks, something happens.
Look at this.
Some fund, Kathy Wood does something. I don't know. And it's going to just be a 2x.
This thing needs to get blasted through.
I think it needs to get flipped, and then
Yeah.
we use that as a launch pad for the real trade.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally like that.
Yeah. But I don't know either. Like it is kind of bad tech, for being honest. You know, like it actually is bad tech. Like I use it on a weekly basis to pay contractors for BB, but beyond that, like the world is moving in a different direction. So that if they cannot, and I hate even getting into fundamentals with trades, right? Like it just you look at the chart and you know what you need, but if they don't do something about the world, the direction that the world is heading, which is, I mean, clearly crypto or CBDCs and a more expedited, cheap, efficient pathway for payment rails, I don't see how they're going to survive at all, even though the product works. So I don't know.
I agree with that. Carvana's not going to survive. I probably should have traded that.
I think since I prompted Will to buy some, I actually think it's up a bit because it was at like $44 or something. I don't know if he bought it or not. I told him to buy 1,000 shares and he laughed. I don't think he.
This thing might just teleport though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing in there.
Why do you use hike and poopy candles?
Because it shows trends so much better, Max.
Yeah, but they're hike and poopy candles.
It's cleaner. Look how clean that is.
It's too clean. I like the static. All right.
I need the clean. Look at the downtrend.
Yeah, imagine if you just shorted the first purple candle there.
That's what I'm saying. It's clean. You can use it for signal.
You know what else is clean for signal is Renko.
What is it?
Yeah. I actually like Renko.
Oh, the Renko candles.
But you got to use them on like weird time frames because it compresses.
What?
All goofy.
What?
So you got to go down to like the 12 hours.
Dude, what am I looking at? That's
Merry Christmas.
Wait, hang on. I got a picture.
No, you're on too high of a time frame. It like compresses it weird. You have to go, if you want to look at the monthly, you probably have to go to like the daily time frame.
What is this? I want it to show me the actual price. It won't do that though.
No, it won't.
That's crazy, man. I've never used these.
You've been missing out.
What about the bars? Bars do anything?
That's a boomer chart.
Yes, dude. This is the Peter Brandt bar chart. Bitcoin's going into an 8-year winter Peter Brandt bar chart.
Yeah.
Didn't he short ETH?
Probably, man.
I saw Nomad was asking about his liquidation price.
Dude, Nomad's man, I love Nomad. He's such a fucking giga chad.
Oh, ETH is coming back, boys.
I love how Nomad will just like quote tweet somebody that's like bearish or bullish and just imagine you like tweet your bias and then Nomad quote tweets you.
It's over.
I'd be terrified. I'd be like, I'm selling everything. I'm out. He's coming for me.
When he's like, do not be upset.
There is no need to be upset.
There's no need to be upset.
That'd be so cool, man. He literally is like God mode for the market. He can literally move the market wherever he wants.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
If Nomad's watching, please send ETH to 4,000. Please.
Nomad hates ETH, man.
Oh, that's not good.
I love how much he hates ETH. It's
no
hysterical.
need to hate ETH.
There is no need to be upset, Max.
What do we think Nomad looks like?
I don't know. I just picture him as his profile.
Yeah, it's so weird to think like I wonder who these like anonymous guys are, you know. So funny.
I think ETH looks so good here, man.
There's no need to be upset, Tucker. There's still time to buy. I think it's pay time.
Dude, look at the RSIs, man. My goodness gracious. Look at the bounce on the 50. Full reset.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You pull up Bitcoin next to it on the exact same time frame. Pull up another chart with Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin looked like this a few days ago. And I don't think we're going to really get much until after Christmas.
What, the RSI look the same?
No, just like the candles. So go to the 1 day chart for Bitcoin or whatever. Just line the time frames up. Bitcoin looked just like this a few days ago and didn't break out or hasn't yet. So I'm being just a little bit cautious, just going into like a lower volatility time. I think that it's possible that we do get this breakout that I think is coming, but it probably happens at the start of the new year rather than like right now.
And ETH looks way better.
No, but look at Bitcoin like 2 days ago. It looks the exact same as ETH right now. Exact same.
Right here?
Yeah, it looks the exact same. So I'm just saying I wouldn't expect a ton until after the holidays. I'm open to it. I'm positioned for it, but I'm not getting excited about this with Christmas in a few days.
I'm getting excited.
Hey, I'm open to being wrong. I'm positioned for it. So
ETH is literally at 31K Bitcoin right now. That's the thing too.
Yes. All right, guys, here's the deal. We've been going for an hour and a half. It's the Friday before a holiday. We're going to call it here. Guys, thank you so much for being here as always. If you haven't yet, please consider liking either on Twitter or on YouTube. It really helps us grow. And furthermore, if you are new here, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern time with me, Tucker, Snorlax, Jackus, and Will's Outlook. It's basically an hour and a half to 2 hour long alpha dump. Talk price, narratives, fundamentals, generally just have some fun. It's a great time. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you can be made aware and notified of when we go live. You do not want to miss it because we are here every single day dropping crazy alpha. And the show's been growing like crazy because of you guys, because you guys like it and you guys literally like and you subscribe. So please help us grow. Continue to support us by liking and subscribing. We greatly appreciate the continued support. Now for the Discord. Guys, right now you can go to the first link in the description below, becausebitcoin.com/premium. It'll take you to our website where you can sign up for our premium services. Those services are expanding rapidly, similarly to how Ethereum is about to expand rapidly. In Q1, we are dropping a new product called the BB Terminal. It's effectively supposed to be the Bloomberg terminal equivalent, but for crypto. It's got basically everything you're going to need. It's absolutely epic. We spent a lot of time and money on it. That will be included in our premium services. And if you want to be early to beta test that product early next year, everybody in our Discord is going to get early access to that before it is released to the public. Our services, once the BB terminal come out, are going to go up exponentially. Right now, it's $149.99 per month. If you don't pay for that membership and then some in a very short period of time, then we have failed. But the retention is very high for a reason. So if you want to elevate your trading, if you want to elevate, this either full-time profession or I guess maybe secondary profession, consider checking out the Discord. We basically do 2 hours private voice calls every single day with the entire Because Bitcoin team and community. And we also have active positions channels where we show you guys behind the curtain where we are actually placing bets in the market, not just technical analysis. We share all of our active positions as well. So again, if you want to lock in and be grandfathered into that $149.99 per month price, you can sign up right now, because when the BB terminal drops, it is going to be bundled with the Discord and is going to cost a lot more money. So again, if it is of interest to you, I would sign up sooner rather than later. Again, it's $149.99 per month. We do 2 hours a day of private live voice calls with the entire Because Bitcoin team and community. We get to constantly communicate And we also share active positions, private setups, and some alpha that we don't talk about here on YouTube. And yeah, if anybody is in the comments that's in the Discord, let them know what's up. You know, you guys are in there. I see you guys in the comments. Let them know what's up. Let them know about the experience. It's been absolutely fantastic. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here. I'm going to kick it over to Tommy to say a final farewell and a happy Christmas. Or I'm going to take us out today. It looks like Tommy's on mute.
Oh, I forgot that I was started speaking. Well, happy holidays, guys. This is our last show before Christmas. We hope you are spending time with your friends and family, and ideally not too much time around the chart, at least on Christmas Eve or Christmas. But I mean, I'm sure we'll never be too far away from our trading view accounts. That's just how it is. Either way, guys, we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you've had a phenomenal week. Max, do we have market talk today? I assume so.
Yeah, I would assume so. I haven't talked with Wabi, but we should. We're doing it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday now. Wednesday, we take off to do a longer show in the Discord. So
fantastic. Well, yeah, make sure to tune in with King Wabi for Market Talk at 4:15 to 4:30 Eastern Time. His last show before Christmas as well, I'm assuming. But yeah, guys, really not too much more to say. Hopefully we get some volatility in the market, but not too much around the holidays, right? We don't want to have to be taken away from our families for too much time, but I'm sure there will be trading opportunities here into the end of the year, the start of next year. I'm really excited for 2024. But we'll see you next week for more episodes of Market Check. But yeah, guys, y'all have a fantastic rest of your Friday, a great rest of your week. And of course, we will be back next week. Thanks again.